Welcome students, I am Professor Shyam Soni and today we are going to start with the most interesting subject of CA Foundation, and name of the subject is Business Economics. So students, this subject, Business Economics subject, you all are going to attempt for 60 marks. 40 marks will be Business Commercial Knowledge, 60 marks will be Economics. So total out of 400, 100 marks will be these two subjects. So Business Economics will be 60 and Commercial Knowledge will be 40. I am going to teach you Business Economics. So before we start with the chapters, with the topics, I will just give you the small idea, a small introduction about this subject. Now students, in this subject, Foundation Economics, we are going to study total 5 chapters. In that, first 4 chapters are purely microeconomics and the last chapter, chapter number 5 is macroeconomics. And very important students, economics, Foundation Economics is purely an objective paper for you. 100% MCQs they will ask. Question they will give you, 4 options they will give you. You are supposed to select the most appropriate answer. So first I will tell you the names of 5 chapters and then we will begin with the first chapter. So students, the name of the first chapter is Nature and Scope of Business Economics. It's a very small chapter, interesting chapter. Chapter number 2, Theory of Demand and Supply. Chapter number 3, Theory of Production and Cost. Fourth chapter is Price Determination in Different Markets. And fifth and the last chapter is Business Cycles. So students, total 5 chapters we are going to study. It's completely a objective paper, MCQ type questions will come in your exams. So without wasting any time, let's begin with the first chapter, and you can see on screen the name of the chapter is Nature and Scope of Business Economics. So students, now you are able to see one word and that word is Business Economics. Now what is this Business Economics? So before we understand Business Economics, let's understand some concepts related to which word? Only economics. So first we have to understand what economics is trying to say. What are the MCQs? What are those MCQs which are connected with economics? And then we will move towards business economics. So let's see what this word economics is trying to tell us. I am going to write few points, you have to learn those points, try to remember those points. All these would be the MCQs connected with the word economics. So the first point I am writing is economics in 19th century was called as what? Political economy. So in 19th century economics was called as what? Political economy. Coming to the next point, economics comes from a Greek word, and what is that Greek word? Oikonomos. Which word? Oikonomos. And meaning of oikonomos is household management. So what is the meaning of oikonomos? Household management. So from oikonomos word was developed and that word was economics, and it's a Greek word. Now economics basically studies about mankind, that is nothing but human behavior. Studies about what? Human behavior. So students, Now, what is this study of mankind? What is this human behavior? Now, students, please understand. First of all, economics is connected with one word, and that word is scarcity. Today, you will not find any country without scarcity. And economics basically talks about human behavior, and our human behavior says that our wants, needs, desires are ever increasing, are unlimited. So, in simple language, I will tell you, our wants are unlimited, our wants are recurring, our wants are never satisfied. One want is completed, another want arises. So, students, we human beings are the most greediest animal on this planet Earth, because our wants keeps on multiplying, our wants are recurring, our wants are unlimited, and that's why resources are not able to fulfill all the wants, because wants are unlimited, but the resources to fulfill those wants are limited. So, there are three types of resource: human resource, financial resource, and natural resource. So, resources unfortunately are limited, but our wants are not limited, they are unlimited. So, scarcity is the root cause of all economic problem in this planet Earth, and when there is scarcity, the problem of choice making will arise. Now, students, whether be it a society, whether it be an individual, whether it be a country, choice making exists everywhere, because scarcity is found everywhere. So, you have to make choice between two alternatives. Like you have limited amount, you have limited money, you have two options: either to pay education fee or to buy a latest smartphone. So, out of these two, you can do only one. So, can I say we will select, or we will choose that option which gives us the highest benefit? So, I selected making payment for education fee. See, I know in your mind that smartphone is going on. You would definitely pay money for smartphone. But can I say we will select that option where net gains are the highest, net benefits are the highest? So, if given a choice between education fee and a smartphone, a rational consumer will always go for payment of education fee, because education is more important than buying any material things. So, problem of choice making arises. Our human wants are unlimited, never ending, recurring. Now, this will come under human behavior. It is nothing but study of mankind. We are the most greediest animal. Coming to the next point now. Economics is a branch of social science. Social represents society. Now, students, honestly, if I tell you, economics is both science as well as an art. Science basically will talk about cause and effect relation, will talk about the problem, will talk about the issues, will identify the problem, and art is going to give solution to that problem. So, society's problems are discussed, identified, cause and effect relationship is studied, and ultimately solution is been drawn and solution is been implemented. So, we will say economics is both science as well as an art. So, I have written economics is a branch of social science. Moving to the next point, economics basically deals with allocation of resources. So, I will put it in this way: economics faces the problem of allocation of resources, and students, allocation of resources precisely represents which economics? Microeconomics. Is a part of which economics? Microeconomics. Now, what is the meaning of allocation of resources? When resources are properly utilized, when there is less wastage, no wastage, or I would say when there is optimum use of scarce resources, best use of scarce resources, then I would say there is proper allocation of resources. So, creating something best out of waste will lead to allocation of resources. So, students, economics will teach us, economics will talk about allocation of resources, and allocation of resources should be done in such a way that producer earns profit, consumer gets satisfaction, and society gets welfare. So, students, allocation of resources is a part of microeconomics, and allocation should be done in such a way that producer earns profit, consumer gets satisfaction, and society gets welfare. Coming to the next point, according to economics, wealth is stock and income is flow concept. So, according to economics, wealth is stock and income is flow. Moving to the next, economics, which is divided into two parts, micro and macro. Now, students, micro comes from a Greek word mikros and macro comes from a Greek word macros, and both these concepts were first time used by which uncle? They were used by Ragnar Frisch, 1933. So, first time this concept was used, micro and macro, both concepts were used by Ragnar Frisch in which year? 1933. Moving to the next, father of economics. Who is the father of economics, students? You are right, Adam Smith. He is also known as classical economist. He is the one who started microeconomics. He has written one book, Wealth of Nations, 1776, also known as classical economist. Next comes Alfred Marshall. He is a neoclassical economist. He has also written one book. Name of the book is Principles of Economics, which year? 1890. And students, precisely if I tell you, Alfred Marshall is an architect of microeconomics. So, Adam Smith started, father of economics, 1776. Who took it forward? Alfred Marshall took it forward. And students, both micro and macro concepts were actually used by, first time actually used by which person? Ragnar Frisch in 1933. So, students, these are a few points, or you would say, I would say these are a few MCQs which are connected with which word? The word is economics. So, please make a note of this, please write this in your notebook, revise this properly, understand this properly, learn each and every point thoroughly. This will help you to solve MCQs related to economics. And please remember, economics is related to which word? Scarcity, and scarcity is the root cause of all economic problem. Okay, so let's move to the theory part. Let's see the introduction. General definition of study of economics is individual and social choice in the face of scarcity. As I told you, the law of scarcity implies that consumer wants will never be completely satisfied. See, students, all wants cannot be satisfied at one go. So, human wants cannot be completely satisfied because resources are limited. Economic problem arises due to two reasons. As I told you, unlimited wants, our wants keeps on increasing, and resources are scarce. So, in simple language, we can consider money as a resource. The term economics owes its origin to a Greek word oikonomia. And what is the meaning of oikonomia? Household. So, students, oikonomos, oikonomia, same, one and the same. So, it is nothing but household management. Economics is a science that studies those activities which are concerned with the efficient consumption, production, exchange and distribution of scarce means which have alternative uses. The purpose of economics is to achieve maximum satisfaction of wants and increasing of welfare as well as economic growth. So, economics will try its best that resources are put to best use, producer earns profit, society gets welfare, and there is good amount of satisfaction to all the consumers. Now, coming to a word, the main concept, that is business economics. Till now we were talking about economics, now we will talk about business economics. Now students, business economics is more practical, more realistic. Economics basically teaches us theory, laws, concepts, and manager, CEO, a business will use those concepts, will use those theories, and they are basically going to apply all economic theories in their business. So, here we get a word business economics which is more practical. So, business economics is also referred as managerial economics because students, it's a manager who runs the firm, who runs the organization. It is an application of economic theory and methodology. So, as I told you, from economics we will take different laws, different theories, different concepts, and that manager is going to use those concepts in real business world. Every business involves decision making, as survival and success depends on sound decisions. Now, very important point. Whether the business is small, whether the business is medium or large scale, decision making plays a very important role. So, in order to take a decision, can I say discussions are needed? First of all, we need to evaluate different options, different actions. We need to discuss on plan A, plan B, plan C, different alternatives we have to bring on table. So, managers will discuss certain topic in a board meeting. But students, here one point we have to understand, taking decision is not important, but taking quick decision is very important. If manager is spending too much of time, or if manager is taking too much of time in making decision, can I say opportunities will be lost in the market? So, making or taking sound decision is not important, taking quick decision is important. So, let us say decision making means the process of evaluating various course of action, different alternatives, making rational judgment on the basis of available information, and selecting and making a choice of suitable alternative by a decision maker. So, one point I would like to add, if a business or if a manager cannot take right decision, then he should take decision first and make it right. Coming to the next point, decision making is not a simple and a straightforward. So, it is a complex phenomena, students. It is not easy because today we are taking decision. Whether that decision is going to be successful, favorable, unfavorable, we don't know. It has become very complex due to ever changing business environment, growth, competition, large scale production, big size of business house, complex laws, cost awareness. So, today as more number of companies are coming, competition is increasing. Today we are a part of globalized world. Our products are being sold in different countries. Huge competition from foreign players. So, overall business environment has become complex. Growth, profit margins have gone down. Rules, regulations, restrictions, formalities have increased. Now, students, when the business environment is dynamic, business environment is complex, so your decision making becomes little difficult. It is not an easy process. In other words, the economic environment in which firm operates is very complex and dynamic. So, a manager or a CEO needs to be extra careful in making certain decisions. Next point says business economics provides a scientific base to professional management of business activity. It provides tools like budgeting, market analysis, cost benefit analysis, which can be scientifically applied to take sound business decision. So students, business economics will make basically use of certain tools like budgeting, how much budget we should prepare for a particular year, budget department wise, how much budget we should allocate for marketing department, for sales department, for purchase department, likewise. Then market analysis, study about market, study about the product, study about the competitors, and cost benefit analysis. So what will be the cost incurred for producing a product and how much profit we can earn, how much revenue or how much yield we can earn after selling the product. So these points are basically connected with business economics. Thus, business economics is a sub-branch of economics. So as I told you, from economics, which concept has come? Business economics, which aims at the scientific application of economic knowledge, logic, theories and tools to take rational business decisions. That's why it is also called as which economics? Applied economics. So two names, business economics is known as or is referred as managerial economics and also applied economics, because manager is the one who is going to use different concepts and theories, and he is the one who is actually going to apply those theories and concepts in real business. That's why it is a managerial economics, also known as applied economics. Business economics is closely connected with both microeconomic theory as well as macro. It is also useful to a manager for non-profit organization. So students, it will talk about both micro as well as macro. Micro basically talks about internal matters of the company, and macro will basically talk about external matters or external factors in that country. So micro basically is related to firm and macro is basically related to industry. Let's see the definition of business economics. So first definition is given by Joel Dean. Business economics in terms of use of economic analysis in the formulation of business policy. So in making business policy, suitable business policy, business economics plays a vital role. Business economics is essentially a component of applied economics, as it includes application of selected quantitative techniques such as linear programming, regression analysis, capital budgeting, break-even analysis and cost analysis. So please remember these words: linear, regression, capital budgeting. Business economics is concerned with the application of economic laws, principles and methodologies to the managerial decision making process within a business firm under a condition of risk and uncertainty, given by Evan Douglas. So very important, I will again read: business economics is concerned with the application of economic laws, principles and methodologies to the managerial decision making process within a business firm under the condition of risk and uncertainty. So types of economic, two things: microeconomics and second is macroeconomics. Now students, I am going to give you certain points. So there will be few points for microeconomics, few points for macroeconomics. Please learn those points. Moment you see those points or those words in a question, in an MCQ, you can easily identify whether to take microeconomics or whether to take macroeconomics. So So students, till now we have discussed two things: introduction to economics, then we discussed meaning of business economics and definition. So okay students, now let's understand microeconomics and macroeconomics. So students, microeconomics basically talks about individual firm, individual consumer, individual household, particular product, particular commodity, price of a product. So, one individual, single, small, tiny represents micro. So, when I am talking about one individual, then I am talking about microeconomics, students. When I am talking about one household, I am talking about microeconomics. So, microeconomics comes from which concept, which Greek word? This word micro has come from which Greek word? Mikros. Let's see. Microeconomics is the study of a particular firm, as I told you, particular household, particular price, wages, income, industry, and a particular commodity. Thus, it is a study of particular unit rather than all units combined. So, microeconomics theory deals with the problem of allocation of resources. This we have already discussed. Please, I am highlighting this. It's very important. Allocation of resources is related to which theory? Microeconomics theory. Under microeconomics, we study theory of product pricing, price theory. Then we talk about consumer behavior, theory of factor pricing. Factor pricing means rent, wages, interest and profit, rewards for all factors of production. And then we talk about study of a firm, one firm. So, micro means particular, small, individual. Next is macroeconomics. Macro means aggregate, total, large. When I talk about the country, economy, bigger picture, then it is macroeconomics. Macro comes from a Greek word macros. So, macroeconomic theory is that part of economics which studies the overall average and aggregates of the system, such as total production, total consumption, total savings and total investment. Thus, macroeconomics is the study of overall phenomena as a whole rather than individual parts. Macroeconomic deals with the growth and development of resources. Under macroeconomics, we study theory of national income, employment and money. Students, these all are country related topics. Theory of general price level. General price level means we will talk about two things, inflation and deflation. Economic growth and development, and last they say theory of international trade. That is trade between two nations, trade between two countries. So, now let's see certain points. Please make a note of this. So, left hand side I am writing microeconomics, right hand side macroeconomics. So, first I will write points only in microeconomic side, then we will come to macro. Please make a note of this. You are also supposed to write this, and please remember these points. Moment you see these points, you can easily identify whether it is microeconomics or macroeconomics. So, first is I am writing theory of product pricing. Second is consumer behavior. Third, I would say factor pricing, that is rent, wages, interest, profit, just now I had discussed. Fourth is behavior of firm, of a firm, that is one organization. Next point, microeconomics is also known as which theory, students? Price theory. I again repeat, all these points represents microeconomics. Sixth point, problem in Y Limited company. So problem is in one firm, one company. Then next point is allocation of resource, again connected with microeconomics. Next point I will add is location of industry. Now students, overall industry means group of firms, many firms. But here I am not talking about industry, I am talking about location of that industry, one particular location. Like Jamshedpur has many steel plants. So steel industries are located at Jamshedpur. So I am talking about that one place, and that place is Jamshedpur. So please understand, location of industry is a micro. Moving to the next. Then I will write income from railways. Again part of microeconomics, because government is earning revenue, earning income only from one source, that is railways. That's why it is micro. Next, demand analysis and forecasting. Again it's a part of microeconomics. So please understand, moment you find these words, you will take microeconomics from the given options. Now let's talk about macroeconomics, total, aggregate. So in this, first is national income and output. Then comes price level, that is nothing but students what? Inflation and deflation. Next is interest rates. Interest rates for loans, interest rates for FDs, bank provides interest rates. Then balance of payment. Now students, it's a systematic record of all international transactions between two countries. So all those transactions, import export transactions, are recorded in balance of payment. So again talking from country's point of view, macro. Then exchange rates. Simple language, today $1 is 72, say example. So 1 pound is 95, 1 euro is 76, $1 is 72. So one currency exchange for another currency, and that rate would be exchange rate. Next is savings and investment. Then I would write corporate income tax. Now students, this corporate income tax is a part of macroeconomics. Next is per capita income, again a part of macro. Then I would write capital formation. Now students, another name for capital formation is investments. What's another name? Investments. Creation of physical asset in the economy. Addition of real stock. That is nothing but capital formation. Next is economic growth, and last I would say social and political environment. Social and political environment, social and political situation. Now students, these points, so all these points which I have written in red ink represents macroeconomics, and left hand side in blue ink represents microeconomics. Please study this table thoroughly, sincerely, and you will be able to answer all MCQs related to microeconomics and macroeconomics. So students, this was what is micro, what is macroeconomics, and distinguish between microeconomics and macro. So last time, just to wind up this topic, I would say when I am talking about a tree and not a forest, then I would say I am talking about micro. But when I talk about the forest and not a tree, then I am talking about macroeconomics. Bird's eye view is macro, but a worm's eye view will be microeconomics. Okay, now I am going to read the distinguish between microeconomics and macroeconomics. Students, just now we discussed certain points, and I told you, moment you find those points, you can easily understand or you can easily make out whether to take micro or macro. So quickly I will read the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So meaning you people are clear now. So let's see. So microeconomics is a study of individual economic units, and macro is a study of whole, or we can say aggregates. Then second point, it deals with the individual income, individual price, individual prices and individual output. It deals with the national income, price level, national output. So if I talk about one or a particular, it is micro, but if I talk about aggregate, total or nation, it is macro. Third point says its main tools are demand and supply. Please remember, for micro, main tools are what? Demand and supply of a particular commodity. Its main tools are aggregate demand and aggregate supply of the economy. Next point, its central is price determination of commodity, of factors of production. Its central problem is determination of level of income and employment. Next is prices determined under this are called relative price. So under micro we will say relative price, but under macro we will say which price? Absolute price. This could be an MCQ, students. Next is, it is a partial equilibrium analysis, whereas macro is a general equilibrium analysis. So under partial equilibrium analysis, other factors will be constant. We will talk only about price and demand, say example, but under general equilibrium, everything will depend on everything else. Everything will be taken into consideration. So its scope is limited, and here there is a wider scope. Here there is a wider scope. So examples, lockout in telco, that is Tata company, finding the cause of failure of X and company, one firm we are talking. Then same points I have made you write, per capita income, corporate tax, economic growth, these all are related to macro. So students, microeconomics, macroeconomics, and please revise that table, the points which I have given you, which you people have written. Now let's begin with the next topic, chapter number 1. In chapter number 1, that is positive signs and normative signs. Now this is a very important topic, students. Quite a few MCQs they have asked from this topic itself. So understand this topic thoroughly. Now what is positive signs? What is normative signs? First of all, positive signs concept is developed by Robbins and normative signs concept is developed by Alfred Marshall. Now students, positive signs will always give you a realistic statement. Statement which is based on analysis, statement which is based on facts, true statement. Like say example, air quality in our country is bad. Air quality in our country is bad. Now can I say this statement is bit realistic? This statement is given on the basis of some research or some data or some facts. So this statement becomes a positive signs. There are many countries where women empowerment is not done. I again repeat, there are many countries where women empowerment is not done. Now this statement also becomes a positive statement, a positive science, because it's a realistic statement based on facts, based on research. So developed by Robbins, and what it is represents positive science. Statement will always tell you the truth. Statement will always tell you the situation, whether the situation is good or bad, but that statement will be based on facts, based on analysis. It will be a true statement, it will be a realistic statement. In case if any problem is discussed in that statement, like air quality is bad was a problem. But please remember, positive science will always talk about the problem, will always talk about the realistic situation, but positive science will never give solution to that problem. So that's why they have written will not pass value judgments, which means will not give any solution. Will always talk about a situation, will give the statement, and they will take an exit. Example, India is an overpopulated country. So it's a true statement, and this statement is positive statement. I will say it is positive science. So please remember, positive science is neutral between the ends. Neutral means he will neither support a good cause nor a bad cause. He will neither support a moral or immoral act. Positive science is completely neutral. It supports neutrality. So, and positive science is what? Descriptive in nature. Will not give solution to the problem. It is called as what? Descriptive in nature. Moving to normative science now. Now students, normative science is given by Alfred Marshall, and normative science will tell you what should be done, what ought to be done. Will always find some solution to the problem. Students, positive science is based on, as I told you, analysis and facts, but normative science is based on ethics. Will always support a good cause, will always support a good cause. And students, normative science is against neutrality. He will not support neutrality, because normative science will always support a right cause, will always support a correct situation, will always give solution to the problem. So I have written will pass value judgments, will always give the solution. Like family planning should be started to control population. Students, word is should. So in any given statement, if you see the word should or ought, please tick that statement, because that statement will be a normative statement. I again repeat, if any given MCQ, if they ask identify which statement is a normative science, so in the given statement 99% you will find which word? Either should or ought, and that statement will be the answer, and it will be called as normative science. And since it gives solution to the problem, I would say it is prescriptive in nature. So should and ought are the words you have to remember. So positive science will always talk about the realistic situation, but will never give solution to the problem. Normative science will always support a good cause, will always give solution to the problem. So this was positive science and normative science. Just to conclude, positive science descriptive in nature, normative science prescriptive in nature. Positive science is neutral between the ends, and normative science is against neutrality. Okay students, now let's discuss a very small concept. What is deductive method? What is inductive method? See students, it's a very small concept, very simple concept. Now, deductive method basically will talk about macro to micro, from big to small. In short, I will say general to particular. represents deductive method. What is general to particular? Like I am talking about all, then I directly talk about one person. Like say example, this full class is very notorious, this full class is not listening to me, this full class is disturbing everyone. Now see, I am talking general, I am talking to everyone, it's a general. Then suddenly I say, but this second bench is extremely notorious. This full second bench is extremely notorious. Now I am talking about a particular bench. The student sitting on that second bench is extremely notorious. So can I say initially there was a general talking to the whole class, then I aimed at a particular bench, particular student. So general to particular, I would say it is which method? Deductive method. Same, exactly opposite, particular to general, is called as inductive, like from micro to macro, from one to all, from small to big. Like Rohit is a police inspector. See students, I am talking about one person, particular, Rohit. So Rohit is a police inspector, then I say Rohit is a corrupt police inspector. It means all police officers are corrupt. Now see, first I was talking about one individual, that was particular. Suddenly I jump to all, becomes general. So from particular to general, I would say it is inductive. So please remember, general to particular, from all to one. I was addressing the whole class, suddenly I aimed at second bench. So from all to one, what? Deductive, and from one to all, I would say it is inductive. So general to particular deductive and particular to general is inductive. Very simple, very easy, very small concept. Now let's move to the next concept, and name of the concept is central economic problem. Again a very small concept but an important concept. Now if you can see, central economic problem, a common central economic problem faced by every country and every society is what? It's scarcity. Now you will not find any country without scarcity. Scarcity exists in every country. So country without scarcity is not found in real world. So in case if they ask a question, identify which country is without scarcity, then your answer should be none. So scarcity exists across world. Now since our wants are unlimited, resources are limited, our all wants cannot be satisfied at one go, and then what we do, choice making comes into the picture, and we have to select that alternative, or we have to give priority to that alternative where the net gains are the highest. So let's see precisely. There are four central economic problems faced by a country. What are those? First, what to produce? Should we produce capital goods or consumer goods? Like if we produce consumer goods, benefit to the consumer. If we produce capital goods, benefit to the producer. But students, very simple, I will tell you, what is important? Should I produce chocolate first or should I produce chocolate maker first? So can I say if I produce chocolate maker, then with the help of that I can produce more chocolates? So first we will focus on capital goods, and today if we produce capital goods, then with the help of capital goods we can produce more consumer goods. So students, what to produce? We have two options, either you produce capital goods or consumer goods. So more production of capital goods today will help you to produce more consumer goods in future. Number two, how to produce? Should we use capital intensive techniques or labor intensive techniques? Now again it depends upon the availability of resource. Like country like USA has more capital, So he will use more of capital techniques, and country like India has more labor, we will use more labor intensive techniques. So depending upon the resources available in a particular country, we will select whether to use capital, whether to use labor. Third is for whom to produce. So students, first was what to produce, second was how to produce, and now third is for whom to produce. Should we produce goods for rich? Should we produce goods for poor? For middle class? So for whom we should produce goods? Can I say we should produce goods for all, for both rich as well as poor? But again, depends upon the availability of resource. But when I talk from our country's point of view, that is India, can I say India is a rich country with poor people? So our priority will be first to produce goods for poor people, first allocate resources for poor people so that they are uplifted, they come out of poverty. So for whom to produce, poor or rich? In India, more importance is given to poor people. And fourth is what provision should be made for economic growth. So every country wants to grow, every country wants to develop. That is the biggest challenge today. So every country will allocate their resources in such a way that economic growth and development takes place. So 4 points. Central economic problem. First, what to produce. Second, how to produce. Third is for whom to produce. Fourth is what provision should be made for economic growth. And students, now very important, these two things, when are goods produced and how much to produce. Please pay attention. When are goods produced and how much to produce, these two are not a part of central economic problem. They are not an economic problem. So they should not be a part of this. In case if they ask, identify which statement is incorrect, then when are goods produced is incorrect. How much to produce is also incorrect. Find odd men out, then these two are odd men out. So there are only 4 central economic problem: what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, and what provision should be made for economic growth. But when are goods produced and how much to produce is not a part of central economic problem. So please students, kindly make a note of this. These two are odd men out. So this was central economic problem, and the common central economic problem is what? Scarcity. Now let's come to the next topic, that is the nature of business economics. Yes, features of business economics you can say, characteristics of business economics also you can say. So let's see the first point. First point says business economics is a science. So students, I will tell you business economics is both science as well as an art. So first we will see business economics is a science. So why it is a science? Because it will trace the cause and effect relationship between. So science is a systematized body of knowledge which traces the cause and effect relationships. Business economics uses the tools of mathematics, statistics, econometrics with economic theory to take decisions and frame strategies. Thus it makes use of scientific methods. So since business economics uses certain scientific methods, scientific tools like econometrics, statistics, mathematics, that's why it is called as science. That's why business economics is called as what? Science. Second point, based on microeconomics. So as I told you, business will study both micro as well as macro. Microeconomics basically talks about internal matters, internal issues, internal points about the company. So as business economics is concerned more with the decision making problem of a particular business established, micro level approach suits it is more. So which approach they should use first, that is micro approach. Thus business economics largely depends on the techniques of microeconomics. Point number 3 incorporates elements of macro analysis. To be more precise, external factors now. A business unit is affected by external environment, as I told you, in which it operates. A business is affected by general price level. So, because of inflation, deflation, your business may get impacted. Level of employment, government policy related to taxes, interest rates, industries, exchange rates. So, all these points are going to impact not one firm, not two firms, it will impact the whole industry. A business manager should consider such macroeconomic variables which may affect the present or future business environment. So, first of all, business manager will see the internal issues of the company. We will talk about the internal environment, technology, managers, staff, employees, workers. That will be a micro approach. But when business manager will talk about external factors like change in government policy, level of employment, inflation, deflation, which will impact his business, then we will talk about, or then we will say it, he is talking about which approach? Macro approach. Point number 4, business economics is an art. Art means solving the problem, finding solution to the problem. So, it is related with the practical application of laws and principles to achieve certain objectives. So, students, economics, business economics is a science. Why? Cause and effect relation. They will study what? Cause and effect relation. But why it is an art? They are basically going to apply those concepts, those strategies, practical application will take place. Point number 5, use of theory of market and private enterprise. It uses the theory of market and resource allocation in a capitalist economy. So, they will see to it that resources are put to best use. Resources are used in a capitalist economy according to consumer preference. 6th point, pragmatic approach. Now, students, what is the meaning of pragmatic? Pragmatic, now, economics is a theory. Economics is a theoretical concept, and from economics, manager is going to use certain laws, certain principles, and those laws and principles, those methodologies, manager is going to apply in his business. So, can I say business economics will become practical? So, economics is theory. So, I will take concepts from economics, I will put it in my business, I will use in my business, and it will become which approach? Practical approach. So, combination of theory and practical, I would say it is pragmatic. So, microeconomics is purely theoretical while business economics is practical in approach. Next point, interdisciplinary in nature. So, students, another name given to interdisciplinary is multidisciplinary in nature. What is another name given? Multidisciplinary in nature. So, it incorporates tools from other disciplines like mathematics, statistics, econometrics, management theory, accounting. So, please understand, business manager is going to use different weapons, different tools. Tools from mathematics, econometrics, statistics, finance, management, accounts, and all these concepts they are going to use in a business, and accordingly decisions will be taken. So, I would say it is interdisciplinary in nature, also known as multidisciplinary in nature. 8th and the last point, normative in nature. So, we have already discussed business economics will always find solution to the problem, is always welfare oriented. So, economic theory has been developed along two lines, positive science and normative science. So, students, positive science talks about realistic statements, normative science talks about ethics, always gives solution to a problem. So students, this was nature of business economics. First was economics is a science, second based on micro, third based on elements of macro, fourth point was business economics is also an art. Fifth point was use of theory of market and private enterprise. Sixth was pragmatic, that was combination of theory and practical. Seventh was interdisciplinary in nature, which is also known as multidisciplinary. And eighth was normative in nature. Now let's begin with the next question, that is scope of business economics. Now students, business economics scope overall is very wide, because business economics talks about micro as well as macro, talks about internal as well as external factors. Let's understand. The scope of business economics is wide. Economic theories can be directly applied to two types of business issues, namely microeconomics is applied to operational or internal issues of the firm, and macroeconomics is applied to the environment or external issues on which the firm has no control. So internal issues, also known as operational issues, related to micro, environment or external issues related to macro. So first, microeconomics applied to operational or internal issues, issues like choice of business, which type of business we should start, then size of business, should we go with a medium size business, small scale business, large scale business, should be a startup, plant layout, technology, product decision, pricing, sales promotion, like 4 P's to be very honest, place, price, promotion, strategy, all these things will be discussed within the company. These all are internal issues, these all are operational issues, are dealt by microeconomic theories. It covers demand analysis and forecasting, product and cost analysis, that is production and cost analysis. Next is inventory management, next is market structure and pricing analysis, resource allocation, okay, like best, like money should be allocated for which type of product first, in which sector money should be allocated, theory of capital and investment decisions, big expenditure which business does, capex normally we say, profitability analysis, like in next quarter or in next upcoming financial year, how much profits my business is going to earn. And last is risk and uncertainty analysis, because students, business is full of risk. Some risks are insurable, some risks are non-insurable. So risk and uncertainty is again a part of microanalysis, internal issues. So basically students, these all points represents micro, which issues, internal issues. Coming to the second point, macroeconomics applied to environment or external issues. And students, this external issues will impact the whole industry, and to some extent business don't have a control on external issues. The major economic factor relates to type of economic system, like capitalist economy, socialist economy or mixed economy. Next is stage of business cycle, like our business is into maturity, maybe peak, contraction, or a business has gone into recession. So different stages. The general trend in national income, employment, price, savings and investment. Like if national income is more employment, more income people will earn, people will have more purchasing power, they may spend more, automatically aggregate demand increases. Now these matters or these factors are external. Government economic policies, if government decides to reduce the tax, favorable policy, increases the tax, I would say unfavorable policy. These again are external factors. Working of financial sector and capital market, If financial sector is doing good, if stock market is doing good, returns will be good, households income may increase. Then there is socio-economic organizations, social and political environment. Now students, political environment plays a very important role. If political situation in our country is good, if political environment is stable, then businessmen will be optimistic. They may spend more, they may invest more. But if there is instability in the political situation, if the current government is not doing good, so businessmen, or I would say private investments, may not take place. So these external issues has to be considered by a firm in business decision and frame its policies accordingly to minimize their adverse effect. So students, these all are macro factors, impacts, talks about which issues? External issues. So this was scope of business economics. Now let's start with the last question of this chapter, and the question is economic systems. So students, there are total 3 types of economic systems you can see on the screen. First is capitalist economy, second is socialist economy, and third is mixed economy. So first we will understand the features of capitalism, socialist and mixed economy, and likewise merits, demerits individually we will understand. So students, first is capitalist economy. Now capitalist economy is that economy where private entrepreneurs, private businessmen plays a major role. In capitalist economy, there is laissez-faire policy. Laissez-faire policy means least government intervention, or you can say no government intervention. Government is not playing a major role. Economy is being run by private entrepreneurs. So in such type of economy, there is private ownership of means of production. There is good level of competition. There could be a problem of income inequality. Then there could be a problem of class conflict. But in such economy, like capitalist economy, higher standard of living could be possible. But students, I will tell you, class conflict could exist, creation of monopoly power could exist, poor people, workers, employees may get exploited. So capitalist economy is basically run by private individuals, private businessmen, private entrepreneurs. Role of government is very, very less, sometimes no. So let's understand capitalist economy in detail, one by one. So first point, feature says means of production are privately owned, land, labor, capital, enterprise, they are privately owned. Freedom of enterprise and freedom of price choice, like you are allowed to start business of your choice, you are allowed to keep price of the products of your choice. Number 3, allocation of resources is as per consumer preference. So whatever goods and services will be produced, it will be produced as per consumers' needs, consumers' wants. So whatever customer will ask, those goods and services will be provided to them. So there is high level of consumer preference, you can also say consumer sovereignty. Next is entrepreneurs are guided by profit motive. So capitalist economy, since it is run by private entrepreneurs, businessmen, their only motive is, their main motive is to earn profit and only profit. So they are not interested in welfare, they are behind profits. Competition exists among producers, so there is a good amount of competition. Capitalist economy uses price mechanism as a principal motive. This is an important point. Price mechanism is an principal motive under which economy? Capitalist economy. Price mechanism, please remember this word, price mechanism is associated with capitalist economy. Coming to merits, what are the advantages of this system? First, greater efficiency and incentive to work hard. Your workers will be paid more, or they may get good incentives, bonus. So here there is a good amount of incentive to work hard. Second, faster economic growth is possible. Yes, because aim is to produce goods, aim is to earn profits. Point number 3, consumers are benefited because of good quality product. So this is an advantage to a consumer. Higher standard of living is possible. Now student, what happens when private entrepreneurs will produce, they will always go for economies of scale. They will try to produce bulk goods at low cost, and more important, they will maintain good quality, and we can enjoy, consumers can enjoy superior goods at low cost, and ultimately our standard of living increases. And fifth point, innovations and technological progress is possible, because they will try to spend money in creating new assets, creating new infrastructure. They will allocate money in research and development. They are more inclined towards innovations, technological progress, automation, then artificial intelligence. So new products, new technology may enter our country, may be produced in capitalist economy. Coming to demerits, disadvantages, uneven distribution of income and wealth. Since profit is the main motive, here there could be high level of income inequality. Gap between rich and poor may increase. Point number 2, income inequality and social injustice, one and the same. Third point says exploitation of consumer and laborers. So sometimes it is possible that consumers may get adulterated product or maybe a defective product, and they may be forced to pay a higher price for it. Or I would say sometimes laborers are exploited. They are made to work for more number of hours, but the remuneration what they receive is less. So there is a possibility of exploitation. Next is economic instability, which may lead to depression. Since there is no government control, government is playing a very minor role here. Government's intervention is not there. So expansions and contractions will be fast, will be quick. Such economy, capitalist economy, are prone to recession and depression. Fifth point is creation of monopoly power. So once monopoly is created, I will tell you, consumers may get exploited, they will be forced to pay higher price, and producers will produce lower output, they will charge higher price, and creation of monopoly is not good for consumers. So these were the disadvantages or demerits of capitalist economy. Now, capitalist economy or capitalism have different names. So market economy, market system, free markets, market mechanism, price mechanism, all these means what? Capitalist economy. So while solving MCQs, you may come across these words like in free market economy. So students, they are talking about capitalist economy. In market system, in market mechanism, in market economy, all means what? Capitalist economy. So these 5 points which I have shown here are nothing but different names given to capitalism. Now coming to the second type of economic system, that is socialist economy. So in capitalist economy, there was more of private and very less government or least government control we had seen, but in socialist economy, everything will be managed by government. So government role will be major here, private will play a very minor role here. So features, it is known as command economy, controlled economy, centrally planned economy. Very important, please remember these 3 words. It is command economy, controlled economy and centrally planned economy. Second, collective ownership of means of production. So here means of production are not privately owned, they are collectively owned. So please remember, owned by government but used by all. Point number 3, promotes welfare of people. Since everything is under government control, profit is not the main motive, welfare, social justice is the main motive. Point 4, lack of competition. So here private participation is very less, so competition is not there in socialist economy. Coming to merits, balanced economic development is possible. Each and every region, each and every state will give a due importance. So backward areas may get uplifted, so there could be a balanced regional development. Point number 2, no class conflict. So there won't be a fight between employers and employees. Third point, economic fluctuations and unemployment are minimized. Since government is framing policies, rules, regulations for the business, so less fluctuations or mild fluctuations may occur. Too much of unemployment, depression situation may not arise. So economic fluctuations will be under control. Under which economy? Socialist economy. Next point says right to minimum work. So government will ensure each and every person who is eligible to work, who is willing to work, gets a job. Everyone gets minimum wages, everyone is employed. Fifth, no exploitation of consumer and workers. Coming to demerits. Problem like corruption, red tapeism, then bureaucracy, favoritism, bribe. Students, all this ultimately results into what? Inefficiency. Economy won't grow fast because few corrupt government officials are responsible for doing all this. So in socialist economy, problem of red tapeism, corruption, bribe may exist. No freedom of choice, consumers' preference is not given importance. Whatever goods state will produce, whatever goods government will produce, only those goods consumers are supposed to buy. So here there is no consumer sovereignty. Point number 3, prices are administered by state. Prices are administered by state means prices are administered by government, like price of petrol, diesel, LPG, electricity, water supply, toll tax. All these prices who will decide? Only and only government will decide. So I would say prices are administered by state. So this was your socialist economy, which has 3 names: command economy, controlled economy and centrally planned economy. Coming to the last type of economic system, that is mixed economy. Yes students, our country India is a mixed economy. So United States of America we can say capitalist, China, Russia they are more towards socialist, and India is a mixed economy. So there is a golden mixture of private and public. There is a golden mixture of capitalism and socialism. So feature says combination of both capitalism and socialism, freedom to join any occupation, trade or business. So we are allowed to start business of our choice. We can join any particular job or an organization. So there is a complete freedom in doing this. People are free to consume goods of their choice. So students, to a major extent, consumer preference, freedom of choice exist under mixed economy. Coming to merits, freedom of occupation. So we can start any occupation of our choice subject to rules and regulations. Point number 2, encourages enterprise and risk taking. So in under mixed economy, government will promote entrepreneurship. Government will encourage new entrepreneurs to start new business, get it into a new product. Point number 3, development of technology through R&D. So again, in mixed economy, government may spend money in research and development. specialization, automation, mechanization may take place. Fourth point, economic and social equality is possible. So, here under mixed economy, gap between rich and poor may get minimized. Authorities, government authorities may try their level best to reduce the gap between rich and poor. Coming to demerits, disadvantage for mixed economy. First point, poor implementation of plans. Now, what happens here? During budget, certain decisions are being taken, but the problem is those decisions are not getting implemented, are not getting executed in the real economy. So, there could be poor implementation of plans. Second, high level of taxes. Because of high level of taxes, there is less purchasing power, that could lead to less demand. Poor people may suffer. Fixed income group may suffer. Point number 3, good level of corruption. So, in mixed economy also you may find favoritism, under table money, bureaucracy, bribe, all these problems do exist under mixed economy. Fourth point, wastage of resources. So, wastage of resources could take place, proper allocation of resources may not happen. And fifth point is, in mixed economy, capitalism act like an oxygen tent. So, in mixed economy, capitalist plays a major role. Capitalism is given more importance. So, country is being run by capitalist people, and certain benefits, immunity, favoritism, government tries to give to big businessmen, big entrepreneurs, and certain plans and policies are designed keeping in mind those big business house. So, in mixed economy, actually who rules? Capitalist people rule. Capitalism acts like an oxygen tent. So, these were the 3 types of economic system: capitalist economy, socialist economy and mixed economy. In capitalist economy, please remember the means of production are privately owned, then there is a consumer sovereignty, monopoly could be created, income inequality will exist, class conflict, that is fight between employer and employee, is possible. In socialist economy, which is also known as command economy, controlled economy and centrally planned economy, where government plays a major role, welfare is the motive, profit comes secondary, income inequality may reduce, there could be a right to minimum work, and exploitation may not happen or exploitation may reduce. And in mixed economy, we discussed it's a golden mixture of capitalism and socialism, but under mixed economy, capitalism acts as an oxygen tent. So, these were 3 types of economic system, and just to remind you, please revise other names for capitalist economy like free markets, market system, market economy, market mechanism. In MCQ, they will definitely use these names. So, please revise these names, remember these names properly. So, students, here we completed our first chapter, which was nature and scope of business economics, and now we are going to start with module MCQs for chapter number 1. Now, let us begin with module MCQs. So, first MCQ is, economists regard decision making as important because. So, option A says the resources required to satisfy our unlimited wants and needs are finite or scarce. It is crucial to understand, B option says it is crucial to understand how we can best allocate our scarce resources to satisfy society's unlimited wants and needs. C, resources have alternative uses. Now, students, if you read properly, all 3 options A, B and C, all three are correct. Correct answer is D, that is all of the above. MCQ number 2, business economics is. So, option A, abstract and applies the tools of microeconomics. B, involves practical application of economic theory in business decision making. Students, I have made you understand this point, that economics will give us different theories, different concepts, and business economics will make use of those concepts. C point says incorporates tools from multiple disciplines. Multidisciplinary approach, interdisciplinary approach point. So, I would say D is the correct answer because point B and C both are correct. Third point, MCQ number 3, in economics, we use the term scarcity. What does it mean? Absolute scarcity and lack of resources in less developed country. Relative scarcity, that is scarcity in relation to the wants of the society. C point is scarcity during the times of business failure and natural calamity. D point is scarcity caused on account of excessive consumption by rich. Most appropriate answer, students, is B, that is relative scarcity in relation of wants of the society. So, as you know, wants are unlimited. Fourth MCQ, what implications does resource scarcity have for the satisfaction of wants? Not all wants can be satisfied. B, we will never be faced with the need to make choice. C point says we must develop ways to decrease our individual wants. And D is the discovery of new natural resources is necessary to increase our ability to satisfy wants. So, for fourth answer is A, our all wants cannot be satisfied because wants will keep on arising, but resources are limited. MCQ number 5, which of the following is a normative statement? Students, which of the following is a normative statement? A, planned economies allocate resources via government department. B says most transactional economies have experienced problem of falling output and rising price over the past decade. C is there is a greater degree of consumer sovereignty in market economies than planned economies. D point, reducing inequality should be a major priority of mixed economies. Students, I had told you normative, they will use two words, should or ought. Moment you find the word should, that statement becomes a normative statement. Correct answer is D. MCQ number 6, in every economic system, scarcity imposes limitations on. Option A, households, business firms, government and the nation as a whole. B option is households and business firms but not the government. C is local and state government but not the federal government. Household and government but not the business firms. So, students, for sixth answer is A, economic system, scarcity arises in household, business firm, government and nation as a whole. MCQ number 7, microeconomics are also called. Option A, applied economics, B is aggregate economics, C is experimental economics and D is none of the above. So, students, macroeconomics are called as aggregate economics. B is the answer. MCQ number 8, an example of positive economic analysis would be. So, option A, an analysis of relationship between price of food and the quantity purchased. B is determining how much income each person should be guaranteed. C is determining the fair deal, fair price of the food, and D is deciding how to distribute the output of the economy. So, students, please remember this word analysis. The most appropriate answer is A. Positive, science is based on facts, analysis it's realistic. MCQ number 9, a study of how increase in the corporate income tax will affect the national unemployment rate is an example of. So, moment you check that table, microeconomics and macroeconomics table, you will come to know corporate income tax represents macroeconomics. MCQ number 10, which of the following does not suggest, they are telling does not suggest macro approach. Determining the GNP of India, that is gross national product. B is finding the cause of failure of ABC Limited. C is identifying the cause of inflation in India. D is analyze the cause of failure of industry in providing large scale employment. So, correct answer is B, because here we are talking about one company, it represents micro, not macro. MCQ number 11. Ram, my corn harvest this year is poor. So, Krishna, don't worry, price increase will compensate for the fall in quantity supplied. Vinod, climate affects crop yield. Some years are bad, others are good. And Madhu says, the government ought to guarantee that our income will not fall. Ought means should guarantee. Ought word has come. So, in this conversation, which statement is a normative statement? Madhu. So, statement given by Madhu is a normative statement. So, for 11 answer is D. Now, coming to 12th MCQ, consider the following and decide which, if any, economy is without scarcity. So, students, I had told you, you will not find any economy without scarcity. Economy without scarcity doesn't exist in the real world. So, answer is none. 13th, which of the following is not a subject matter of microeconomics? A, the price of mangoes. B, cost of producing a fire truck. Cost of producing a fire truck for the fire department of Delhi. Quantities of mangoes produced for mango market. National economy's annual growth rate. Not a subject matter of micro, they are telling. So, D should be the answer, because here they are talking about national economy annual growth rate. Nation represents macro. So, for 13 answer is D. Coming to 14, the branch of economic theory that deals with the problem of allocation of resources. Students, I had told you allocation of resources. Which theory? Microeconomic theory. A is the right answer. MCQ number 15, which of the following is not a subject matter of business economics? Not a subject matter of business economics. Should our firm be in this business? Option B, how much should be produced and at price should be kept? C option, how will the product be placed in the market? D, how should we decrease unemployment in the economy? Correct answer is D, unemployment alone cannot be solved by business. It's basically government's responsibility. So, for 15 answer is D. Coming to 16, which of the following is a normative economic statement? Which of the following is a normative? Unemployment rate decrease with industrialization. Option B, economics is a social science that studies human behavior. C option says minimum wage should be raised to rupees 200 per day. And D, India spends a huge amount of money on national defense. Should word represents normative statement, my dear students. So, correct answer for 16 is C. MCQ number 17, which of the following would be considered a topic of study in macroeconomics? Option A, the effect of increase in wages on the profitability of cotton industry. B option, effect of steel price when more steel is imported. Effect of an increasing inflation rate on living standards of the people in the country. And D, the effect of an increase in price of a coffee on quantity of tea consumed. Correct answer, we are talking about price level, that is inflation. It will impact the whole country. And they are asking about macro. Correct answer is C. MCQ number 18. The difference between positive and normative economics is. So, students, look at option B. Positive economics describes the facts of the economy, while normative involves evaluating whether some of these good or bad for the welfare of the people. So, most appropriate is option B. MCQ number 19, which of the following is not within the scope of business economics? Capital budgeting, risk analysis, business cycle. A, B, C, all three are a part of business economics, but accounting standards is not. D is the right answer. Coming to 20. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Which is incorrect, they are telling. Business economics is normative in nature. Option B, business economics have a close connection with statistics. C option, business economics need not worry about macro variables. D, business economics is also called managerial economics. My dear students, I had taught you business economics will talk about both micro as well as macro, both internal as well as external. So here they are telling need not worry about macro. So this becomes an incorrect statement. They have to calculate or they have to worry about macro factors also. 21. Economic goods are considered scarce resources because they, option A, cannot be increased in quantity, option B, do not exist in adequate quantity to satisfy the requirement of the society, C, are of primary importance in satisfying social requirement, and D, are limited to man-made goods. So 21, your answer is do not exist in adequate quantity to satisfy requirements of the society because resources are limited. 22, in a free market economy, the allocation of resources is determined by, students, in free market means capitalist economy they are telling, and it is determined by consumer preference. 23, a capitalist economy uses dash as a principal means of allocation of resources. What? Price as a principal means. So 23 answer is D. 24, which of the following is considered as a disadvantage of allocating resources using the market system? Market system again means capitalist economy. Option A, income will tend to be unevenly distributed. They are talking about disadvantage. People do not get goods of their choice. C, men of initiative and enterprise are not rewarded, and D, profits will tend to be low. Correct answer is uneven distribution of income. So income will be unevenly distributed is a demerit under capitalist economy. 25, which of the following statement does not apply to market economy? Again, market economy stands for capitalist economy. Firms decide whom to hire and what to produce. Firms aim at maximizing profit. C, government decides, households decide which firm to work for and what to produce with their income. And D option says government policies are primary forces that guide the decisions of firms and households. Students, there is a laissez-faire policy under capitalist economy. Government role is less, negligible. So under market economy, government will not play any role. Correct answer is D. 26, in a mixed economy, all economic decisions are taken by central authority. Option B, all economic decisions are taken by private entrepreneurs. C, economic decisions are partly taken by state, partly by private entrepreneurs. Correct answer is C. 27, the central problem in economics is that, what is the central problem? Comparing the success of command versus market economies. B, guaranteeing a minimum level of income for every citizen. C, allocating scarce resources in such a manner that society's unlimited needs or wants are satisfied in the best possible way. And D, allocating scarce resources in such a manner that society's unlimited needs or wants are satisfied in the best possible way. Students, for 27, answer is D. So MCQ number 28, capital intensive techniques would get chosen. Capital intensive techniques would get chosen. Option, we will see option A, Labor surplus economy, where the relative price of capital is lower. Option B, capital surplus economy, where relative price of capital is lower. C, developed economy, where technology is better. And D, developing economy, where technology is poor. So, students, capital intensive techniques are used in capital surplus economy. B is the right answer. 29. Which of the following is not one of 4 central economic problem? Not they are asking, that the study of economics is supposed to answer. What to produce, when are goods produced, who consumes what, and how are goods produced? Correct answer is when are goods produced. B is the right answer. MCQ number 30. Large production of dash goods would lead to higher production in future. I again repeat, large production of dash goods would lead to higher production in future. So, today if we produce capital goods, in future we can produce more consumer goods. So, B is the answer. For 31, economic system in which all means of production are owned and controlled by private, then it is which economy? Capitalism, capitalist economy, because everything is under private. 32, macroeconomics is the study of A, all aspects of scarcity. Option B, national economy and the global economy as a whole. C, big businesses. D, the decisions of individual business and people. Correct answer is national economy. B is the right answer. 33, freedom of choice is an advantage. Capitalism. Exploitation and inequality are minimal, which means very less, under socialism. 35, administered price refers to, students, price which are decided by government. So, price is determined by external authorities, which is usually the government. C is the answer. So, students, these were module MCQs, total 35 MCQs. Please try to solve on your own and then you can check the answers. Now, let's begin with additional MCQs for practice, and this is a classwork section, students. So, first you will complete module MCQs and then you will attempt additional MCQs. So, let's begin with the first MCQ. So, the question says, the meaning of the word economic is most closely connected with which word? So, students, economic is connected with the word scarcity. So, B is the answer, scarce. Second MCQ, in economics, the central economic problem means, option A, consumers do not have as much money as they would wish. B option says there will always be a certain level of unemployment. C is resources are not always allocated in optimum way, and D point is output is restricted to the limited availability of resources. So, students, correct answer for second MCQ is C, resources not always allocated in an optimum way. MCQ number 3, which of the following suggest a micro approach for India? Pay attention, micro approach. Identifying the cause of large scale unemployment in India. Option B, input output analysis of the economy. Option C, finding cause of high turnover in ABC Limited. And D is analyzing distribution of coal in the country. So, look at the C option. Here they are talking only related to one company, one means particular. So, C is the answer for third MCQ. Now, moving to fourth, state whether economics is dash, a positive science only, neither a positive nor normative science. C, science but not art, and D, science or an art depending on who uses economics and for what purpose. So, most appropriate answer for fourth is D. Fifth MCQ, state which of the following refers to the macro approach from national angle. They are asking which is macro. Unemployment among educated people in India, profitability ratio of Bharat Heavy Electrical Limited, that is BHEL, it is a government company, Turnover ratio in telco, D, none of the above. So, appropriate answer is A, unemployment among educated people in India, because they are talking about macro. Sixth MCQ, dash economic explains economic phenomena according to their cause and effect. So, when we talk about cause and effect, it is positive economic. A is the answer for sixth MCQ. Moving to the seventh. State interference is maximum, government interference is maximum under which economy? It's maximum under socialist economy. MCQ number 8. Scarcity can be avoided by making, once again, scarcity can be avoided by making needs unlimited, wants unlimited, resources limited, wants and needs limited. So, appropriate answer for 8 is D, wants and needs limited. MCQ number 9. Every economy is characterized by option A, unlimited wants and needs, option B is no energy resource, C option says unlimited material resources, and D is abundant productive labor. So, every economy is characterized by unlimited wants and needs. Our wants will always multiply, will always increase. MCQ number 10. Eliminating the scarcity problem would eliminate the need to study economics, increase the need to study economics, divert resources from government activity to education, eliminate the possibility of free lunch. So, if you want to understand scarcity, then increase the need to study economics. MCQ number 11. Economics who are concerned about the behavior of individual household, firms and industries are studying individual households, firms, individual households, firm. We are talking about microeconomics. MCQ number 12. Reasoning proceeds from particular to general students. So, we have done this. General to particular was deductive, but particular to general is inductive method. So, B is the right answer. MCQ number 13. A normative economic statement is normative science. Which one is the normative statement? Federal minimum wages should be raised to $4.50 per hour. Economics is a social science that studies human behavior. Economics is not a social science that studies human behavior. United States spends $1 trillion on national defense. Appropriate answer is option A, should word is given. For 13, answer is A. Coming to 14. Which one of the following is not a feature, students, not a feature of mixed economy? Market forces deciding investments and consumption. B, reservation of certain areas for public sector investment. C, emphasize on social legislation. D, strong anti-monopoly legislation. So, for 14th, answer is A. Only market forces will not decide, because here there is public plus private, socialism plus capitalism. 15th, opportunity cost are result of scarcity, because if you want to obtain one thing, you have to sacrifice another thing. You cannot have both things at the same time, because there is a scarcity of resource. So, you want one, you need to sacrifice another. So, sacrifice made is opportunity cost. Value of next best alternative is opportunity cost. 16. The aim of an entrepreneur is to earn as much as profit possible. The entrepreneur belongs to capitalist economy. Profit is the main motive. 17. In which type of economy gives to consumers and producers make their choice based on the market forces of demand and supply. So, that is again a market economy, because consumer preference exists under capitalist economy, and another name for capitalist economy is market economy. So, for 17 answer is D. Coming to 18, monopoly of state on production and investment is a feature of. Monopoly of state, state stands for government here. So, it is a feature of B, socialist economy. Coming to 19, dash is also known as price theory. Answer is microeconomics is known as price theory. And please remember, microeconomics is known as price theory, but macroeconomics is known as aggregative economics. MCQ number 20, which of the following statement regarding market economy is not true? Market economy means capitalist economy, not true they are saying. Price plays a major role in the market economy. Government controls production and distribution of goods. Consumer chooses the goods they want. Efficiency is achieved through profit motive. B is the answer. B is not a part of market economy, because in capitalism government interference is the least, government role is the least. So, B is the answer for MCQ number 20. So, students, here we completed additional MCQs for chapter number 1. So, my only request is, first you will revise the chapter, you will view the videos sincerely, attempt module MCQs first, and then you will attempt additional MCQs. So, now let us begin with homework section, extra MCQs for chapter number 1. So, we completed module MCQs, then we completed extra MCQs for classwork section, and now we are going to start with homework section extra MCQs. So, first MCQ is, human wants have unlimited wants, that is the means are relatively scarce. Now, students, here means means resources. So, means stands for resources. So, wants are unlimited, means are limited is dash. Forms definition of economics, B meaning of economics, C is subject matter of economics, and D is none. So, students, most appropriate answer is, it is a subject matter of economics. Moving to the second MCQ, economics not just deals with how a nation allocates its scarce resources, but deals with dash by which productive capacity of resources can be increased. So, answer is D, that is processes. So, it deals resources but deals with processes. MCQ number 3, the term economics owes its origin to a Greek word. Now, you know it is oikonomos, oikonomia. C is the right answer. MCQ number 4, oikonomia means it is nothing but household management. So, right answer is B, it is household. Moving to MCQ number 5, economics is a study of dash in the ordinary business of life. Alfred Marshall says it is a study of mankind. C is the answer. Moving to the sixth, meaning of Greek word oiko and nomos stands for household management. Correct answer again C. Moving to the seventh MCQ, economics is called a dash of social science. Students, it is a branch of social science. 8th MCQ, who is the father of economics? Very simple, it is Adam Smith. Moving to the 9th, economics is the study of, first, how society manages its unlimited resources, how to reduce our wants until we are satisfied. C is how society manages its scarce resources, and D is how to fully satisfy our unlimited wants. Most appropriate answer is C, how society manages its scarce resources. Moving to 10th, Professor Dash has defined the concept of business economics. So, Professor Samuelson defined the concept of business economics. Coming to 11, application of quantitative techniques like linear programming, capital budgeting, break-even analysis are the components of dash economics. They are used in business economics, students. 12th MCQ, business economics, normative in nature, interdisciplinary in nature, both. D is none. Right answer is it is both normative as well as interdisciplinary. Another name for interdisciplinary is multidisciplinary in nature. MCQ number 13, business economics is abstract and applies the tools of microeconomics. B, practical application of economic theory in business decision making. C, incorporates tools from multiple disciplines. D is both B and C. Appropriate answer is both B and C. 14, which one is not within the scope of business economics? Answer is accounting standards. Coming to 15, business economics is dash as it deals with both quantitative tools and practical application for attainment of set objectives. So, it is both science and art. Students, it is both science and art, because science will study cause and effect relationship, and art is going to use those concepts, put it in practical use, and will find a solution to the problem. So, 15th is A. Coming to 16 now. Business economics is branch of general economics comprising pure economics. C, combination of consumption and production units. D, both B and C. For 16, answer is A, it is a branch of general economics. Coming to 17, business economics comprises of microeconomics in nature, pragmatic in nature, quantitative analysis, all of the above. Very simple, all three options are correct. D is the right answer. Scarcity, MCQ number 18 we are doing now. Scarcity of resources means non-existence of resources. B is limited resources. C is both A and B, and D is none. So, for 18 answer is B, limited resources. 19, the law of scarcity does not apply to rich developed countries, applies only to less developed countries. C is applies that consumer wants will be satisfied in the socialist system, implies that consumer wants will never be completely satisfied. Students, your all wants can never be completely satisfied. Something you need to sacrifice. D is the right answer. MCQ number 20, business economics is dash in approach as it not only deals with theory but tackles practical problems of the firm. So, it is pragmatic in approach. 20, answer is D. So, as I had told you, pragmatic economics is theory, business manager will use those concepts and he is going to apply in the business and it will become practical. So, pragmatic. 21, business economics is dash in nature as it incorporates tools from other disciplines such as mathematics, management theory, accounts, finance. So, it is interdisciplinary in nature. 22, demand analysis, forecasting, production, cost analysis, inventory management are economics applied to operational or internal issues. Operational and internal issues represents micro. Work in progress, raw material, finished goods are the forms of, students, they are stock, they are inventory. B is the answer, inventory management. Coming to 24, central economic problem is what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. D is the answer, all of the above. 25, the theory of capital and investment decisions, risk and uncertainty are the parts of dash economics applied to operational issues again. So, we will say again it is microeconomics. Coming to 26, the central problem in economics is that, what is the central problem? Comparing the success of demand versus market economies, command versus market economies, guaranteeing that production occurs in the most efficient manner. C, guaranteeing a minimum level of income for every citizen. D, allocating scarce resources in such a manner that society's unlimited needs or wants are satisfied as well as possible. So, for 26, the correct answer is D. 27, microeconomics is connected with A option consumer behavior, B is product pricing, C is factor pricing. All three options are right. D should be the answer, all of these. 28, when we are studying how a producer fixes price of a product we deal with. Fixing of a product price is microeconomics, students. B is the answer. 29, right of private property is found in, right of private property, capitalist system, capitalism. B is the answer. Which of the following is a study of particular unit rather than all units? When we talk about particular units, we are talking about micro. 31, which of the following refers to the microeconomic aspect from national angle? Microeconomic aspect. Per capita income of the country, that is macro. Capital output ratio in steel industry. Income from railways, both B and C. Right answer is income from railways. So, income from railways is income from one source. So, 31 answer is C. Coming to 32, state which refers to microeconomic approach from national angle. Unemployment among the educated people, inflation in the economy, lockout in Indian Airlines, and D is distribution of coal in the country. Again they are asking micro. So, lockout in Indian Airline means one firm, one organization, one company, you can say. 33, which of the following falls under microeconomics? National income, general price level, factor pricing, national savings and investment. So, right answer is C, factor pricing, nothing but rent, wages, interest and profit. 34, price theory is also known as microeconomics. 35, macroeconomics is a study of all aspects of the scarcity, national economies and the global economy as a whole, big businesses, the decisions of individual businesses and people. They are asking about macro and B is the right answer, national economies and the global economy as a whole. 36, when we study why savings rate are high and low. Savings rate. Students, please refer to that table which I have taught you. Micro points which were there in microeconomics and some points which were given in macroeconomics. In that you will find savings rate represents macroeconomics. 37. Identify the correct statement. Option A, in the deductive method logic proceeds from particular to general. Students, in deductive it is general to particular. Micro and macroeconomics are interdependent. Yes, this is the right answer. They both are interdependent. Micro and macro both are interdependent. So, B is the answer for 37. Coming to 38, economies considered with welfare proposition are called as which economies? Normative economics. Coming to 39, an example of positive economic analysis would be an analysis of the relationship between price of food and the quantity, determining how much income each person should be guaranteed, determining the fair price for food, and D is deciding how to distribute the output of the economy. Please remember this word analysis based on facts, realistic, it's a positive science. 40, economics as a positive science should be between ends, should be neutral between the ends. So, I will again repeat, positive science which was given by Robbins supports neutrality, but normative science is against neutrality. So, positive science is neutral between the ends. 41, normative aspect of economics is given by, who gave the concept of normative economics? Marshall. 42, which of the following is an example of normative science? Rich people should be taxed, free education should be given to the poor, India should spend more money on defense. In all 3 points you will find the word should. Correct answer is all of the above. 43. Normative aspect of economics is given by. Answer is Marshall. 44. Social insurance, sickness benefit, old age pension are some social benefits provided by. State in capitalist economy, state in socialist economy, state in mixed economy. Correct answer is, students, B, socialist economy. 45. Which of the following statement is normative? So, large scale deficit causes an economy to grow more slowly. People work harder if wage is higher. Unemployment rate should be lower. Correct answer is C. Should word has come and they are asking which is normative. 46. Difference between positive and normative economics. So, positive economics, correct answer for 46 should be B, students. Positive economics describes the facts of the economy, while normative economics involves evaluating whether some of these are good or bad for welfare of the people. 47. Exploitation and inequality are minimal under socialism. Who gave the positive aspect of science? Positive science given by Robbins. Inequality of income does not perpetuate in socialism, in which economic system all means of production are owned and controlled by private individuals. Capitalism is the answer. Freedom of choice is an advantage of capitalism. 52 says, in which type of economy do consumers and producers make their choice based on market forces of demand and supply? It is market economy. D is the answer. 53. In a free market economy, when consumers increase the purchase of goods and the level of demand exceeds supply, A is the answer. Then what will happen? Price will rise. So, when demand is more than supply, price will rise. 54. A free market economy solves its central problem through. B is the right answer, market mechanism. 55, we will see, find out the correct statement. Okay. Higher the price, the lower the quantity demanded is a normative statement. Micro and macroeconomics are interdependent on each other. C, in capitalist economy, economic problems are solved by a planning commission. D is deductive method, logic proceeds from particular to general. Correct answer is B. 56, under controlled economy, which means we are talking about socialism. State plays a major role, central authority decides how much will be produced. C is both A and B. Correct answer is C. 57, mixed economy. All economic decisions are taken by central authority. All economic decisions are taken by private entrepreneurs. C is economic decisions are partly taken by state and partly by private entrepreneurs. So, students, here we complete homework section, additional MCQs for chapter number 1, and this is the end of the first chapter in economics. Thank you so much.